Natural language processing, NLP, is a branch of artificial intelligence that focuses on the interaction between computers and humans through natural language. The goal is to enable computers to understand, interpret, and generate human language in a way that is both meaningful and useful. NLP encompasses a variety of tasks such as text analysis, translation, sentiment analysis, and more. In the context of the AZ-102 course, we will delve into implementing and managing language understanding models using Azure AI Language, a powerful tool provided by Microsoft Azure. Azure AI Language is a suite of services and tools provided by Microsoft Azure that enables developers to build applications that can understand and process human language. It includes capabilities such as text analytics, language understanding, and translation. Azure AI Language leverages machine learning models to perform tasks like sentiment analysis, key phrase extraction, and entity recognition. By using Azure AI Language, developers can create applications that can understand and respond to user inputs in a natural and intuitive way. Before you can start implementing a language understanding model, you need to set up your Azure environment. This involves creating an Azure account, setting up a resource group, and provisioning the necessary services. To get started, log into the Azure portal and create a new resource group. Next, navigate to the Azure AI Language service and create a new instance. Make sure to configure the necessary settings such as region, pricing tier, and resource name. Once your environment is set up, you are ready to start building your language understanding model. Creating a language understanding model involves defining the intents and entities that your application will recognize. Intents represent the actions that users want to perform, while entities represent the specific pieces of information that are relevant to those actions. To create a model, navigate to the Azure AI Language portal and create a new project. Define the intents and entities for your application and provide example utterances for each intent. This will help the model learn to recognize the different ways users might express their intentions. Once you have defined the intents and entities for your language understanding model, the next step is to train the model. Training involves feeding the model with example utterances and teaching it to recognize patterns in the data. In the Azure AI Language portal, you can use the built-in training tools to train your model. Provide a diverse set of example utterances for each intent, and use the training tools to refine the model's accuracy. The more data you provide, the better the model will perform. After training your language understanding model, it is important to test and evaluate its performance. Testing involves providing the model with new utterances and checking if it correctly identifies the intents and entities. In the Azure AI Language portal, you can use the testing tools to evaluate your model's accuracy. Provide a set of test utterances and analyze the model's predictions. If the model's performance is not satisfactory, you may need to provide additional training data or refine the existing data. Once you are satisfied with the performance of your language understanding model, the next step is to deploy it. Deployment involves making the model available for use in your application. In the Azure AI Language portal, you can deploy your model by creating an endpoint. This endpoint can be used to send user inputs to the model and receive predictions. Make sure to configure the necessary settings such as authentication and access control. Once deployed, your model is ready to be integrated into your application. Integrating your language understanding model with your application involves using the endpoint to send user inputs and receive predictions. This can be done using the Azure AI Language SDK or REST API. In your application code, send user inputs to the endpoint and handle the model's predictions. Use the predictions to determine the appropriate actions to take. For example, if the model identifies an intent to book a flight, your application can proceed with the flight booking process. Integration allows your application to provide a natural and intuitive user experience. After deploying your language understanding model, it is important to monitor its performance and make necessary updates. Monitoring involves tracking the model's accuracy and identifying any issues that may arise. In the Azure AI Language portal, you can use the monitoring tools to track the model's performance. If you notice a decline in accuracy, you may need to provide additional training data or retrain the model. Regular maintenance ensures that your model continues to perform well and provides a good user experience. In any language understanding model, there will be edge cases and errors that need to be handled. Edge cases are unusual or unexpected inputs that the model may not be able to handle correctly. Errors occur when the model makes incorrect predictions. To handle these situations, it is important to have a fallback mechanism in place. For example, if the model cannot identify an intent, your application can ask the user for clarification. Additionally, you can use error logging to track and analyze errors and use this information to improve the model. As your application grows, you may need to scale your language understanding model to handle increased traffic. Scaling involves increasing the resources available to your model to ensure it can handle a larger number of requests. In the Azure AI Language portal, you can scale your model by adjusting the pricing tier or adding additional instances. Make sure to monitor the model's performance and adjust the resources as needed. Scaling ensures that your model can continue to provide a good user experience, even as the demand increases. When implementing a language understanding model, it is important to consider security and compliance. This involves ensuring that user data is protected and that your application complies with relevant regulations. In the Azure AI Language portal, you can configure security settings such as authentication and access control. Make sure to use secure communication channels and encrypt sensitive data. Additionally, be aware of any regulations that apply to your application, such as GDPR or HIPAA, and ensure that your implementation complies with these regulations. To illustrate the implementation and management of a language understanding model, let's look at a real-world case study. Imagine a travel booking application that uses Azure AI Language to understand user requests. The application defines intents, such as booking a flight, booking a hotel, and checking flight status. Entities include destination, travel dates, and passenger information. By training the model with example utterances, the application can accurately understand user requests and provide relevant responses. This case study demonstrates the practical application of Azure AI Language in a real-world scenario. The field of natural language processing is constantly evolving, with new trends and advancements emerging regularly. Some of the future trends in NLP include the use of transformer models, such as BERT and GPT-3, which have shown significant improvements in language understanding tasks. Additionally, there's a growing focus on multilingual models that can understand and process multiple languages. Another trend is the integration of NLP with other AI technologies, such as computer vision and speech recognition, to create more comprehensive and intelligent applications. Staying updated with these trends can help you leverage the latest advancements in your NLP solutions. Implementing and managing a language understanding model with Azure AI Language involves several steps, from setting up your environment to deploying and maintaining your model. By following best practices and leveraging the tools provided by Azure, you can create powerful applications that understand and respond to user inputs in a natural and intuitive way. As you continue your journey in the AZ-102 course, consider exploring additional resources and tutorials to deepen your understanding of NLP and Azure AI Language. The knowledge and skills you gain will be valuable in building innovative and intelligent applications.